Today I wanted to show you how I created a fully illustrated and narrated adventure story by using ChatGPT and Midjourney. And of course we're gonna check out the results, so let's just dive in. Okay, so the first thing I started with was to create this prompt that we will be using in ChatGPT. So here you can see I started with write on a fantasy adventure story. I got some more descriptions here. Write the story based on the following information. So we have two main characters, we have a main plot, and we have a location. And we finish off with write the fantasy adventure story. So let's take this prompt over to ChatGPT. Okay, so here I'm just going to here, pasting in the story and just hit play. Okay, so now we have our story. Let's get some background information of our main characters. So to get the background information, I used this prompt. Write a vivid and an interesting background summary of our two main characters. And let's just take this to ChatGPT and see what we get back. So let's just paste the prompt here and click play. Okay, so now we have our background story. So that is the story complete. Now let's take it over to our script. Okay, so we have pasted our story into this text file. The next thing we're gonna do now is run it through the script I created. So basically what this script does is it divides the story into scenes. So I think we're gonna end up with around 10 scenes. And then the script creates a Midjourney prompt from each scene. Let's just run the script and see the results. Okay, so that was the script done. Now let's have a look at some Midjourney prompts. So here you can see the prompts we got for scene 1 and we got a prompt for scene number 10. So Jake and Eve, dense Amazon jungle, sun-soaked humid air. Yeah, you get the point. Now we're gonna just run these prompts in Midjourney, collect all the images and put it all together. But before we do that, I also need a narrator voice. So I just head over to Azure Speech Studio, paste in my story here, export this as an MP3. Then I head over to Adobe's new feed enhancement software. That is very good. You get a really good audio for this. So you can just drop an MP3 file here and get what I call almost perfect speech. That is it for our narrator voice. Okay, so then I just headed over to Midjourney with our prompts. Just pasted all the prompts, picked out the images that I thought fit the story the most. Then I went over to Premiere Pro and did some editing to put it all together. And that was about it. If you want to learn how to create scripts like I did in this video, you should definitely check out my membership. We also have a Discord with a Midjourney bot if you're interested in that. Anyways, now let's just have a look at the final result.
Jake Stonebringer was a 35-year-old expedition researcher from California. He was a graduate of MIT and had always been fascinated by the natural world. As a child, Jake spent countless hours exploring the forests and mountains of his home state, learning about the diverse array of plants and animals that called these places home. When he wasn't out exploring, he spent his time reading books about natural history and dreaming of one day becoming a scientist. Finally, his chance came when he was offered a position on an expedition to the Amazon rainforest, one of the most unexplored places on the planet. Eve Thompson had always been fascinated by the natural world, and as a young girl growing up in London, she spent hours poring over books about far-flung places and the plants and animals that inhabited them. When she was accepted to study at Oxford University, she knew exactly what she wanted to do, major in biology and pursue a career as a researcher. Eve was overjoyed at the opportunity to finally land her dream job, and she spent the next few months preparing for the trip, reading up on everything she could find about the secrets of the Amazon jungle. Jake and Eve were on a research expedition deep in the Amazon jungle, exploring a site that dated back to pre-society culture. As they made their way through the dense foliage, Jake noticed a narrow path that he had never seen before. He motioned for Eve to follow as he made his way down the path, which opened up into a small clearing. In the center of the clearing was a large cave, which was a few yards wide and deep. The cave was illuminated by natural sunlight and seemed to lead further into the jungle. Taking a closer look, the two researchers were amazed to find that the opening of the cave had been skillfully carved into the stone walls.
What is this?
Jake asked Eve in amazement as they stepped into the cave.
I don't know.
Eve responded, just as awed by the discovery. The two continued to make their way through the twisty corridors until they reached a large chamber. The chamber was illuminated by artificial lighting, which was powered by some sort of generator. In the center, they noticed a metallic time machine, which had a few blinking lights and droning sound. Jake cautiously approached it and noticed various buttons and levers.
Do you think this is some sort of time machine?
He asked, turning to Eve. Eve nodded and cautiously stepped forward and examined the machine. After a few moments, she said,
I think I can make it work.
She maneuvered the buttons and levers, and the time machine started to hum with life. A large blue bubble began to form above the machine, and within seconds, the researchers found themselves in another time and place. The two emerged from the blue bubble in the heart of the ancient city of Alexandria in Egypt. The city was bustling with activity, merchants selling their wares and people going about their daily lives. Entering the city square, they found a large public library and a museum filled with wonders. Next, they went to the time of the Renaissance in Italy, where they witnessed the birth of the art and science movement. Jake marveled at the architectural masterpieces, and Eve thoroughly enjoyed the great works of art her eyes saw. After visiting various time periods throughout history, they decided to take the time machine to the future. As they stepped out into a world full of robots and automated vehicles, they realized they had traveled to a world hundreds of years from their own. It was a world of advanced technology, a world where robots and machines ran people's lives. When their journey through time ended and they were back in the present, Jake and Eve had gained knowledge unlike anyone else. With a combination of their discoveries, the two researchers were able to unlock mysteries that had baffled scientists for years. Their journey had opened up a new world of possibilities and gave them a better understanding of the past and the future.